Here's the headline from the New York Post over the weekend. Dispute between father and son. Boston Celtics owners over team's massive payroll sparked sale. Irv Grousbeck, 90-year-old Massachusetts-born entrepreneur who owns a controlling roughly 20% stake in the team, balked at funding big losses on the horizon from the massive contracts that helped the Celtics capture a record 18th NBA championship in June. Multiple sources told the Post. That's paragraph 2. Whoa. Pause. 20% stake. Did we have that yet? Did we know that?
No.
I don't think so.
We didn't know the percentage, but we thought it was quite low.
20% Irv owns. To win that title, Wick put together the league's priciest roster. Goes on to say, Wick owns roughly 3% in the team. Roughly 3% stake, but is the front-facing owner. Okay, Irv, 20%. Wick, 3%. We're getting some numbers here.
Yeah.
Getting some numbers. One of the sources said that's what happens when dad puts in most of the money. The team barely broke even last season during its championship run, sources say. It is expected to lose roughly $80 million this year because of luxury tax fines for being over the cap. A source close to the sale process said.
That's the price you pay, the Golden State. This is your window.
Now, when reached for comment, Wick reiterated that it was strictly related to estate planning purposes.
Well,
he said,
it may be
to say the sale is in any way related to losses is completely incorrect.
Oh, it could be his dad went to him and said, what are you doing here? How the hell are we breaking even? I got no money here at this point coming in from them. Dump the team. I want paid. I'm old. I got to take care of things. This could be between he and him, yeah. And not knowing what the hell was going on. Then all of a sudden you get your earnings reports. We're not barely breaking even like you said. And then we're on a hook for $80 million? So
here's another interesting number in there. They have Steve Pagliuca's stake. They've got him at a little over 20%.
This guy,
Pags
is loaded, man. Pags is a bigger player in all this than I ever thought. Because like every photo you got, it's Wick holding it. It's like Pags trying to reach in and touch it. It's back off. I got it first. Hold on. It's like when he went in with Felger and Maz, and you were with him, right, at that time? Or no?
Yeah.
Wick, yeah.
I don't know. Yeah.
I'm not done talking.
He's been in before.
Yeah. Like,
sort of shut down.
I always felt like Pags was put in his place by him, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
And it's really... Pags is more of the majority.
It's a good point, though, because imagine owning 20% and you've got a guy who only owns 3%, who's like the front-facing owner. And I'm not talking about there being any personal animosity. Yeah. I'm just saying, you as an owner, Pags is present. He's the second most present owner of the Celtics, right?
But he's under the bucket over there. You're on the sideline right there next to the coach.
And it feels like he's always had to take a back seat to Wick. Whereas Wick has his family... we'll call it 23% as opposed to a little over 20%. And he's sitting there going, yeah, but only 3% of it's actually yours.
Yeah. And it just felt like ever since I've known Pags and Wick to be part of this, you know, like I don't even know what date they get in on it all. Just felt like Wick's the guy and Pags is distant, you know, minority owner.
So is it safe to say that, well, this is what I wonder now. This means that both Wick is giving up his 3% and Irv is giving up his 20% because that's the majority control of the team. Right. They have to sell both, right?
Because if Wick wasn't giving up his 3%, then and it was just 20% that was going out,
right.
Pags is now the majority owner, correct?
Yes.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's got to be the whole family is getting out.
Or at least enough of it to have and hold more than Pags. And we know Pags has been referenced, has been brought up as a potential, and he's announced he wants to be in on these bidding. He wants to be in on the bids to buy the rest of it. Which, if he were to do that, he would own nearly half the team. So, it's definitely a team that might be overvalued at the moment, given their success, given where they are sitting after winning a title. There are some comments in here about how getting to a $6 billion valuation will be difficult. And one source saying getting to 6 is going to be difficult. It should be more like 5. Talking about the economics of not owning their own building, not having the opportunity for other revenues is something that hurts it. What do you think about potential owners reading this?
So I read this article, and I thought this was a great thing for Celtics fans because clearly if you do not own the building, and we've talked about this in the past, but they lay it out here in the article, if you don't actually own TD Garden, it is going to be really hard, especially with the new money coming into the NBA, to actually turn a profit. You're going to lose $80 million next year, and that's only going to go up moving forward. So if you're going to buy this franchise, it is going to be a passion project, especially without that building, which means that you're going to want a heavy hitter like a Bezos or someone like that where money's not an object. I just want this as a toy moving forward. And it's not going to be a Fenway Sports Group that sees it as a undervalued asset that we can come in here and turn a profit and start to make some money and sort of take advantage of an asset that people didn't really...
Fenway's not getting it if you're breaking even.
And that's a good thing for Celtics fans. That's the way that I read this. I read this and said, you know what? You are going to get a billionaire owner that wants to win and wants to use this as a toy, and that's the best case scenario if you're a Celtics fan.
Okay, so I read this, and I thought, Fenway Sports Group is definitely in. And here's why. They only have to buy 23% of the team. They're not shelling out $5 billion. That's not what it is. It's going to be based on that valuation. Or let's cut the gap in half, right? Is it 5? Is it 6? Let's call it 5.5, and you got to buy 23% of the team. Fenway Sports Group can buy the controlling stake in the Celtics for under $1.3 billion. That's not that much more than what they paid for the Pittsburgh Penguins. They were right around $1 billion, I think. Does that make you reconsider? You can control the Celtics, and you don't have to shell out 5. You don't even have to shell out 1.5.
But if you don't have the building, you're not going to make money. And so you're going to have to sign up for this, knowing for 10 years here we're going to be taking a bath.
Who's got the political capital to get a building done? Is it more the Fenway Sports Group, or is it someone like Jeff Bezos?
Connections wise, you would say Fenway Sports Group.
They are the best connected sports owners in town. I would say the Red Sox and Bruins are both doing a good job of staying connected. They both own venues in the city. They have to. They have no choice. But the Red Sox have done very well on that front. They've been very wise to cozy up to politicians from day one of their ownership. How do you think they got those air rights over Lansdowne for like nothing? Right? For like $12 a year. Whatever it is. I just think that they would have their eyes on this because they don't have to spend $5 billion.
Yeah.
They can get out of it for $1 and control the team. Don't rule them out. If you like that clip, check out more videos from Zolak and Bertrand here. For more Celtics analysis and opinion, hit this playlist. And for all the latest from the Sports Hub, download the app at 985thesportshub.com.